Welcome back to this Let's Play of the original official campaign, the Uke, as I'm going to call it, for Neverwinter Nights 2. Last time we, well, our hometown was doomed yet again, and we're going around just sort of helping out with the defense and recruiting people, and, you know, apparently there's going to be a big battle at some point, so we should probably, you know, make sure we have everybody. And if I don't sound particularly enthused, it's because I'm not. But there's just a certain amount of this which, I don't know. We really could have done without. The, you sort of running around talking to people is great and all, but,
Well done! All right,
Yes, indeed.
Okay. We've recruited all the militia that are available to recruit. Our wizard friend here told us to loot his house, so let's go loot his house. The Craftworks of Evermeet. This is a book of enchanting recipes. You don't actually have to have the recipe to enchant anything. You can just read them all off. There's a couple of fairly good FAQs actually that are out there on how to, the crafting system works. But for the most part, what you need are gems, an item to enchant, and essences. Essences mostly come from things like this bladeling spike here, which it says, yields faint power essence. But you need a character with alchemy. This character is not going to have any alchemy. And you also need a mortar and pestle, which we don't have at this point. But back outside.
My home is the house closest to the bridge. Some equipment I have there may prove of use.
Actually, it was all garbage, but hey, if you're going to give us stuff, why are we going to complain? Most important buff to use right now, though? Ale.
Yeah? Something you want?
Can't do it without the beer, right? Yeah, well, beer is actually pretty useless in this game. All it does is reduce your intelligence temporarily. And given that this character's a wizard, maybe that's a bad idea, but I'm just going to cast a couple of buffs. I don't really have much in the way of buffs. One of the quirks to my little challenge is that I'm going to have to use all of my level up spell gaining for spells that I can't get through scrolls or learn from my other party members. And there are a bunch of them who are added in the expansions, which there are no scrolls in the original game.
Let's see what you've got!
Here's our grand melee, and I'll cast True Strike, and then charge into the fight. And I'm actually going to control Bevel for most of this, just because he's actually, he may be a badly built character. His stats are worse than anything you can have, but honestly, he does have power attack and he does have cleave, so I want to make sure that he's sort of making use of himself and not sitting around like an idiot.
Spotted some enemies over here.
Oh yeah, you spotted some enemies. Great. I don't think I noticed them. But anyway, I have now cast all the spells I have available, and I'm just going to be a fighter for a little while. Which is essentially what I originally planned. Low-level mages in D&D really suck, frankly.
Another wave is coming! Prepare for battle!
Let's go! In unison! The advantage too, that you only have to recruit a couple of the
regroup
of the militiamen. I think you need a minimum of 5, and there are 7. But it's well worth recruiting the other ones.
Blood! They're entering the Starling House.
But if we don't hold the next wave off, the whole village could be overrun.
Yeah.
Let's go. If we hurry, we can stop them before they find the children.
Okay, great. And I forgot what I was talking about. Well, let's...
We could use your sword, but...
You keep my brother...
And we automatically teleport to the house to save the children. Think of the children! Anyway. Regardless of whether or not you... I believe regardless of... I've always done the tutorial, but the Harvest Cup is an item you get from completing the tutorial, and all it does is cast Cure Light Wounds twice a day, which is, I guess, not utterly useless, but not that important. I suppose I should... You can recruit, quote-unquote, recruit those dogs there as allies, but if they kill it, I don't get XP for it, and that's no good. And here are the children, safe and sound. And you can actually murder them, even though Bevel's standing right there and he's their brother. You'll lose influence with him. That's all the extent of it. Come on, people. If you're going to allow us to murder children, at least, you know, have people react in a sensible fashion. Yeah, this game tries to throw in some of these darker, you know, edgier choices, and it's like, whatever. You have to actually include emotional response, not just, ooh, I get to be evil. Anyway. And there's a couple locked boxes in here, and there's stuff to clean up. I'll kill all the boxes and meet you outside. We have saved the children, and now we have to, you know, save all of these other people out here who are, you know, still in the middle of fighting. And they're, I guess, kind of, I don't know, incompetent, but, you know, it seems like we walk up to the enemies and they kind of evaporate, and everybody else here is sort of fighting hard. Oh well, you know, they're holding the line, right? Captain Kirahe would probably not be all that impressed by how they're holding the line, but hey, you know, they're militia.
Thank the gods that's over. We would not have held them much longer.
Well, good. Because now we're going to lose. And, well, we get magical reinforcements.
Dagon!
Much blood has been lost tonight. Let us make the enemy pay in kind.
That doesn't even make any sense. I mean, I suppose it does, but pay in kind for the... Well, much of their blood's been spilled too, so... Yeah, I mean, I suppose it could have been... Maybe that sort of makes sense. I don't know. BioWare is decent with the writing, usually.
That is the last of them.
Obsidian less so.
Gather the wounded and the dying. Let's see how many we can steal from death's clutches.
More clever turns of phrase. I mean, actually, that worked. That makes sense.
Thank the gods we were able to hold them at the farm. How many did we lose?
Ian, Vera, Pearson.
What were those things anyhow? Never seen anything quite like them.
They're called bladelings. Their kind is rarely seen in our realm. They dwell in a place beyond.
Well then, what in the nine hells are they doing here?
Lathander doesn't illuminate all mysteries for me. We must rely on our own wit and resources.
One of those dwarves mentioned they were searching for something. Does anybody know what it was?
Boy, come over here.
It's funny, I mean, I'm probably twice his size.
Many have not been so fortunate, and others have seen their final night.
Actually, I died a
understand
couple
you lost
times,
a friend
but,
of yours
yeah,
in the
well.
attack. A tragedy. She was a promising young mage, or so I've been told.
Okay, well, we'll get over it.
That you will. I see you understand the folly of dwelling upon loss. I do not have much time to talk. There are many who are wounded. Now, there is something you must do tonight. Those bladelings were here to find something, and I fear I know what.
Okay. Apparently he hasn't been very talkative about the past before.
Tonight is not a night of words, but of action. There is an item, a silver shard. Long ago, I concealed it in the old stones outside of town. I fear it may have drawn these creatures down upon us.
Okay, either that or your overwrought dialogue did, but okay.
The stones outside of town are older and deeper than you may think. In the farthest chamber of these ruins, look for a strong box. Inside is the shard.
Okay.
If you must, you can go to my room and open my chest. There are things inside that may prove useful. There remains only one thing. You should not go alone. Bevel, I need you to accompany my son to the ruins. This is an important task.
But Georg says the ruins have been overrun by lizardling tribes.
And that is why you must go. Together, two can succeed where one might fail. The cries of the wounded cannot be ignored any longer. Find the shard. Find it and bring it here.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess we can check
No
off
offense
the
meant,
looting his room
But your father makes the
box.
hairs on my neck stand up. Still, if we're going to do this, we should make some haste. It sounds urgent.
Okay.
This path that runs along the river is our best route into the swamp. I hope these ruins aren't too hard to find. We could be out there all night.
Oh, no. Anyway, we'll save that for the next episode. And into the swamp next time.